Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Scream, the spookiest cocktail hour on YouTube, brought to you by Burton and Burton, not Tim.
That's right, where we dive into the deep corners of horror while sipping on some drinks. Tonight's movie is The Wolfman 2025, directed by Leigh Whannell. And the drink inspired by the movie is the Fullmoon Fizz. You can catch a list of ingredients at the end of the show, so stick around.
Cheers.
Boom. That's
Ooh.
lemony.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
it's made with strawberry lemonade, and we got some from the neighbors. Fresh strawberry lemonade.
Yes.
You don't have to use fresh strawberry lemonade, but it's preferred because this is delish.
Yeah,
Shout out to the neighbor for brewing up some strawberry
Mm-hmm.
lemonade.
Okay, Alyssa. And my drink's a little bit darker because I had my salt fall in. But you know what? It's a dark movie. It's a dark tale.
It is,
So
indeed.
it works. Okay, Whit. Set us up.
Okay, so check it out. Wolfman 2025. It's a play on the original from the 40s, which we already reviewed. It's way different, obviously. They tapped in Leigh Whannell, who's also done Invisible Man, another Universal classic that they did a few years ago, back I think it was 2020.
Which was pretty good.
Yeah, with Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah.
Really well done. So between reviewing the original and really liking his take on Invisible Man, I was really looking forward to this. Basically, it's set in the Pacific Northwest, woodsy. The main character, Blake, it starts out with him as a kid. He's with his dad in the woods. They come across a creature. It's a great setup for the beginning. And then fast forward, his father has passed away. He goes back to that same cabin years later with his family, and then stuff starts going down.
Right. Pretty quick.
Out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good synopsis. So
Okay.
we're about to dive in. Grab a drink, make a drink, pause, come back, and let's get into it.
Yeah, so jumping right in, what initially pulled you in to the movie?
For me, I did like starting with both the what are their names again? In the woods.
Blake and his dad.
Yeah. I liked starting with Blake and his dad in the woods. Because I do think like there was a little bit of setup of his father. Off to really try and make his dad proud and get that good shot of the deer, but at the end of the day, the Wolfman showed up that day. And I mean I like that they didn't beat around the bush with it and got right to it, got him to the what was it called, like the deer lookout.
Yeah.
And you can hear the breathing. I thought the sound was really good.
Oh yeah.
It pulled me in. I'm like, okay, it sounds big and dangerous. And I was really, when they held the camera like for the shot of them just looking over that ledge, and it's like we're all together waiting for it to peek over, you know. I liked it. That pulled me in. I was like, okay, this thing is real. It's not gonna be mythical the whole movie. Like we're getting right into it, which we love. So yeah, that pulled me in. I was invested. Yeah. So what about you?
A lot of the same. Strong opening with the father-son dynamic and being scared in the woods, him going off on his own, a couple jump scares there early on, but also just almost a callback to the original film too, because remember in the original where they had the writing or the book.
Oh right. in the opening.
In the opening, yeah, and in this opening, and which I also like, just love when movies do this, like to set the tone, set the scene, of doing a little descriptor at the beginning of the movie, with the beginning credits. So you already have like a little setting, like you know that it's in Oregon, you know that it's, you know, around 1995,
right,
and that some stuff is happening, stuff is going down. And so that's what initially pulled me in, was those opening descriptor words, text on screen.
Yeah.
But then immediately just like being in the woods and navigating that, and also just being in that lookout, and the creature approaching up the ladder and being scared, and but yeah, then immediately cut to 30 years later.
Right.
Like, okay, here we go. All right.
Right. I think we were both like, oh, 30 years later. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it said 30.
It did. Yeah. I was like, cool. All right. We're in the very far future. So what did you think about like the first half of the movie that really, you know, started building into it?
Yeah, I mean, to see Blake as an adult and his little family, his daughter, his wife, Julia Gardner.
Yeah.
Gardner?
I think so.
And just, you know, there's very subtle character development there. Like, you know that he's a stay-at-home dad, and he used to be a writer, and she's a journalist, and she's the breadwinner, and they obviously have some kind of strife going on. And he's just, you know, taking care of their daughter. And so when he finds out that his dad is confirmed to be deceased, which apparently he was missing, and they're like, oh, well, we can't find him, he's dead.
Right.
There's no evidence that he's dead, but they're like, come and, you know, get his assets, come to the property. And he doesn't really have an emotional reaction to it. He's just like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's been confirmed, so might be a good opportunity for us to reconnect and go, you know, take some time for the family and whatnot. I do wish they would have given Julia a wig, because I'm just seeing Ruth from
that's all I'm seeing too, from Ozark. And
it was really hard.
Hair makes her look young, or maybe they could have really tried to style her.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's probably like her as Julia, like that's her hairstyle, like that's just how she wears it day to day, probably. I don't know,
because it's easy, she's a working girl.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see a little difference. Especially because, you know, she played Anna Delvey in that Netflix series.
Yes.
And she did it well, and they gave her the wigs, and obviously she was playing a specific person, so of course they did that.
Right.
But yeah, I just was like, it was kind of pulling me out a little bit. Being like,
make an effort to, in my opinion, just
if she's sort of throwing an accent, I would have been like, what are you doing here? But anyways, so I mean, I guess like on one hand, it's nice that they kind of just got right to it, right? And like there was a little subtle hints of their dynamics, and then next thing you know, they're in the car and they're getting lost. He doesn't know where he's going, and he comes across that guy. And you know, at first I'm thinking the guy is up to no good. Like, what is, you know, it's like,
same. Like, why?
I know you from childhood. Yeah, it was creepy. But it does move the story along very quickly with the accident. And, you know, Blake is scratched or bit. He must be bit on his arm. That's when things kind of get going and escalate to another level. But it was almost like too quick. Like, hold on, pump the brakes a little bit.
It kind of felt like start, stop.
Yeah. A little bit. I mean, more so just, I'm like, I was kind of like, why is this happening? You know? But like, I thought maybe at least like get settled in, and then, or like maybe something like covertly spooky happens, and then it kind of escalates from there. But it was very much just like bing, bam, boom.
Which
is fine.
Seen a little bit more of how the dad's home was left.
Yeah.
You know, they get in and maybe we just see what was he up to before he
Disappeared.
Like, who was the man? You know, we only
Right.
saw the guy that was like, you need to know what this mushroom is, you know, but like, how was it? What was he living in for those 30 years? Maybe there could have been some clues there or something, some
Right.
foreshadowing. But yeah, we got right into it. You know, they drive up to the cabin. They're in the wrong house. The guy pick up the guy, and immediately truck flips, and
Right.
it's on and popping, and then it kind of settles again, and then
Yeah.
we see them start to.
And you mentioned
Yeah.
foreshadowing, but like a nice little like flashback to
What?
him and his dad, and like why they had. I mean, obviously it's clear like his dad was pretty overbearing, so you can assume why they had a falling out. But at the same time, like it would have been nice to have a backstory
Yes.
of a little bit more detail of that
sure
as he got to be an adult and 30 years later doesn't even remember where the house is, you know? Or a flashback of like being at the neighbors. Like, why are you confusing the neighbors with
right,
your
like,
own
you don't
house?
know your home?
Like, right. Like, I mean, I get it's been a long time. Right. But like it would have been nice, like eventually, if we had a flashback to like why you made that mistake, like how did you know Kyle or whatever his name was?
Right, because that left me with questions, right? Because when in the opening scene, I wasn't sure if the dad had turned from that interaction, right? Like, and then somehow he had, as a kid, had to leave home because his dad went missing. Then, because I know it was a close encounter with the creature as it was banging on the door. I don't know if he had happened to get scratched or not. I don't think he did, but
no, because 30 taking 30 like, years to turn.
30 years. No, that like maybe he had turned pretty soon and went off the grid, and like maybe he had to go and live with other people. Like, there just wasn't much backstory. Like, if you had lived there till college and then your dad went missing, how do you not know where you're going? So that's why I was like, maybe he was a kid when he left.
Yeah, okay, that's.
But like, it left too many questions for me to just jump. But I did like that they showed that their marriage was a little bit
on the rocks.
Yeah, and that she's a breadwinner and she wanted to connect with her daughter, and that's why, okay, we'll go up here with you and we'll take this risk. But it just seemed a little interesting that he was so insistent on going, but then once he got there, he was very much like, all right, this is what we need to do because I know this is a bad place to be. It's like, if you knew this place was so bad, why pressure your wife and daughter to come? Like, his instincts turned on, but it's like, did you kind of know this is what you were gonna get? Like, this shit was weird. Your dad was missing. Why bring two vulnerable people that you love into a situation like that?
Right. I did like the dynamic between father and daughter, and like how they had that little kind of inside joke of being able to read her mind. That was really cute. What did she say? Say like, what am I thinking right now?
And he'd say something like I love you so much or something.
Something like that. Yeah. So for you, what kind of drove the story forward? Was there a specific scene or sequence of events that kind of...
Ooh, I like that. Sequence of events, I think, for me, was seeing his perspective as he started to experience symptoms of the Wolfman, right? Like the distortion of sound and lighting, and I like how they pulled us in when he's hearing that spider in that room, because we're just hearing,
oh my gosh, yeah, because the spider was loud.
Yeah, and I'm over here like, is something on in the house? I'm like, oh no, it's the movie. And then he opens the door and it's the spider's legs, and I'm like, oh, heightened sense of hearing. And it's kind of like we get pulled into the world of the Wolfman as not just the predator and the senses you get as a predator, but as kind of a victim of this thing that's happening to you, right? Like, that you didn't choose. And so he's confused too. He's like, the hell? And then why does my wife's voice sound distorted? Like when he stumbles across her trying to send radio signals, and it sounds like she's a monster or something at first. And he can see her pretty clearly. But then I like how the camera rotates around and shows her point of view where everything's darker. She's hearing things like a normal human, and she sees the silhouette of her husband just kind of standing off, just staring at her. And he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, they're both like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. So I think that kind of drove the story forward of like, oh, okay, they're going to kind of have us empathize with the Wolfman a little bit. to just see what he's going through as he's turning into this creature. So that really, I liked that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. Like, I think the visuals as well as the sound art. No, that's not the.
Yeah,
Is
like
that
the
the
sound
word?
design.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sound design. Let me run that back.
Which is an art.
Yes, it's an art. But yeah, seeing his point of view, especially like as he's turning more and more into the Wolfman, a Wolfman, he's having those visuals, and it's trippy almost, like the just like galactic,
right,
like the eyes and
right,
all. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought it was a little ironic, like him telling his daughter at one point, he was like, you know, the last thing I would ever want to do is like scar you and like have this be something that lasts, you know, the rest of your life. Which he's clearly, I think he's referring to that night in the woods with his dad, maybe, because we don't have anything else to go on.
Right.
But I'm just like,
that was
pretty traumatic. You just like survived a car accident and watched a man die, and now you're like running for your life. Right. On the run, which
like,
was
it's
like
a little too late to be saying that.
Yeah, it just was like,
you could be like, I'm sorry, I think this is gonna scar you for the rest of your life.
We're gonna need to get you some therapy, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And it's because he said like it would kill me if this affected you the rest of your life. It's like, well, okay, that's a lot of pressure. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me, Dad. But yeah, I thought that was funny. That's something that stuck out to me.
Yeah. Very good point. Like, he's trying to be communicative. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah, and so at this point, like, you know something's up with Blake. He's sweaty. He's acting weird. He's got super hearing, and things are distorted. And his wife and daughter are concerned. And yet there's another thing to be feared. They're being chased, which is a huge phobia for you. So I know like that was hitting you. You feeling empathy for them as they're on the run from this monster from the car crash, and is like essentially stalking them while simultaneously dealing with Blake, their family that is sick. At first, like, I think they just think that he's sick, and they're not really putting two and two together. Honestly, I think the wife was in denial until he started chewing on his arm.
You know what? I forgot that happened. Yeah.
That was a lot.
Because she did. She was trying to call, radio in 911. And then she's saying, yeah, I think he got bit by an animal, is having a reaction. But yeah, that all goes out the window when that dude decides to start biting on the open wound. Yeah. And he's got like blood all over his face, and he's no longer communicating audibly. Yeah, I think she might have been able to start drawing conclusions at that point.
Yeah. And so though, yes, they're just dealing with all of that while being, stalked by another wolf entity from outside.
Two
enemies. And then they're on top of that greenhouse at one point. Oh, that was scary.
Yeah. I was like, y'all got that girl up there. I don't know why that was the decision. That was like the most flimsy option.
Yeah.
To me. But hey, you're running, you're fighting for your life.
And so, like, the movie, it's like the actors are great. Like, I love Julia and the guy from Girls.
That's where he's from.
Christopher Abbott.
Yes.
He's great.
Yes. I love Girls.
And then the guy from Handmaid's Tale. Like, where is he? The dad, Sam Yeager.
Yes.
So, great cast. They did what they could, I think, but I definitely was getting bored in the middle. I was a little bored.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can tell.
It was off to such a it had such a strong start at the beginning with kind of like the pre setup of Blake and his story and his backstory, and then a little bit of pickup, and then we're in the thick of it, but then it's just like kind of like
it hits that low a little bit. And yes, we know he's transforming
slowly,
but yeah, it takes up a big part of the movie, and it's okay. Like, hey, do you? But for me, I did nod off a little bit. I'm not gonna hold y'all until the wolf man from outside, got inside. And then I was like, oh, I was back engaged, because after they had gone outside to try and start the car, and then outran him at the greenhouse, got back in, and old boy was fighting him outside too. But once they got back in the house, and I thought they were cool, he busts back in the house, and I'm just like, all right, this is the fight, the epic showdown, Wolfman to Wolfman, because now we're clearly seeing the similarities, and that's kind of where I picked back up. It was like, all right, now who's gonna win? Like, how is this gonna go? Are they just gonna both attack the family? But he had his daughter, went back and was like, kind of remember who you are,
Simba.
So then he was like, yes, I'm gonna defend my family. Yeah, I guess that's when I kind of got back invested. How do you feel like it wrapped up? Like, he defeats his dad by biting off his neck and realizing it's his dad.
Right.
Tattoo.
And I thought it was pretty predictable that it was his dad.
Yes.
Especially because there was no like story in between them arriving in the woods to stuff happening. There was no time to, again, like you had said, like see what he was up to, and like where but I thought it was pretty predictable that it was his dad. And I also understand too, like by the beginning and it just being like a thing, like there's wolfmen out here, like since 1995 people have disappeared, they're out here, they're a bit, but it just like, I'm like, okay, well, who was that one that was stalking them at the beginning of the movie?
Right.
Is that grandpa? It's not obviously. But I'm just like,
hey, it could have been like,
if there's all these wolfmen out here, right, and it happens to be your dad that got you, and maybe where are they all at?
There's a wolfman
compound. There's a wolfman compound out here in Oregon. I'm thinking that, one, and then two, there's no mention of the full moon.
Right.
At all.
That is the quintessential turn into a werewolf lore.
Like, we didn't get to see any of his dad's studies. Like, he's been like, there's a scene where he's on the CB radio and he's telling this guy, like, there's something out here, like, and he was tracking it. Yeah. He was studying it. I wanted to see more of that. Yeah. I wanted to see more of his dad, not because like I like him from Handmaid's Tale, but just because of his character, and that he was really like in the thick of it. How did his dad get bit? How did his dad turn? Like, I want to know these things. We could have
seen signs of that, right? Like, was he studying the Wolfman? And if they would have dove if they would have dove in into the actual, laws of the werewolf, and say he was only changing on the full moon. If his dad was so inquisitive before, how was he then studying them after? What kind of paperwork or drawings or whatever could they have found in the cabin to even potentially maybe help Blake? Like, if there was just a little bit more backstory, it could have happened in that culmination moment, even if they weren't able to save him.
Right.
What was going on with his dad in those 30 years?
And like, are they both going to turn back to human when the sun comes up?
Right, because why was everyone like, we just have to wait for the sun come up, when in the opening scene, it was daytime?
It was daytime then, yeah.
Like, what difference does it make?
Right. so that was throwing me too. And just like, okay, keeping to the lore of werewolves, not to say that every movie has to stick to the same exact rules in werewolf cinema.
Right, because that doesn't happen. Right.
But I will say that there's a show on Peacock called Wolf Like Me. It has Isla Fisher and Josh Gad. It's kind of a comedy as well, but she's a werewolf and she knows she's a werewolf. She got bit. She builds herself a compound that has like codes and locks, and she gets locked down during a full moon, and she races home to make sure that she is in that cage when the sun goes down on a full moon, and
I love that.
deals with it.
Yes.
And is just away from society. And yeah, not to say again that every werewolf movie has to follow werewolf rules, just like vampire movies don't have to follow vampire rules, and zombies,
right.
You know, different strokes for different folks with these monsters that have been created, but have been around for years and years and years, and the different subcategories of them all, like I love and fascinated by it, but I just felt like this was a little loose with it, and like there wasn't a lot of detail given. It was just a lot of scenes that were slow and not giving me any information. It's just happening.
Agreed.
They're just being chased. They're just figuring it out on the fly.
We leaned real hard into seeing him transform, and there was a lot of missed opportunity of creativity, of just exploring whatever the rules were. Mm-hmm. We just didn't even have a whole lot of rules established to begin really. With. So it would have just been nice to, what are the rules of this world? Right. Not that it has to be the same of any other place.
Exactly.
But
that part. And not to say again that his transformation wasn't like cool.
No, loved it.
It was slow.
Loved that perspective.
It was, you know.
But it took up the bulk of what we experienced. Mm-hmm. And
and he acted the hell out of it too.
Oh,
Christopher Abbott, like he did a good job of like portraying a werewolf.
People,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I did like after the fight with his father when he realized through the tattoo where he kind of, that was that moment where he was what was his wife's name? Dang, I forgot already again.
Charlotte. We haven't said it once, so it's good. Okay. You're mentioning it. Charlotte and Ginger.
Charlotte, yes. When he was in Charlotte's, you know, he got in her face because he was kind of starting to be the werewolf. And he kind of had to be brought back to his humanity, because I was like, okay, this is what we were fearing, right? That enemy within coming out. And I like that he kind of got it together enough. It's almost like, speaking of the show you were talking about, which is like having that wherewithal that like, oh, I am now this predator. How do I keep people safe from me? And so I did like seeing that he chose to leave, or at least tried to in that moment. But then it overtook him anyway, and she, you know, then they, you know, gave us that full circle moment back in the treehouse. Kind of where it all began, ironically.
Yeah, and mimicking that initial scene when Blake was a kid. That was cool too. That was a cool full circle moment of experiencing that. And Charlotte, like, just,
she had to do what she had to do.
And little Ginger being like, listen, Dad wants to be taken out.
Yeah, like I can tell. I can read his mind.
Exactly.
I did like that.
That was a cool callback.
Yeah, it's like when they made up the rules and they applied it and got creative with it, it worked. I love that. Like, I can read Dad's mind. We have this connection. Mm-hmm. It was fun and playful, but at the end of the movie, it actually served him well, because he didn't want to be like that. He didn't want to be roaming those streets. But yeah, okay, so with that being said, what would you rate?
Okay, let's do
Wolfman 2025.
3, 2, 1, 5. Wow.
Look at us.
Cheers to fives.
Cheers to fives.
Okay, yes, I rated it a 5. Basically because like I appreciate, you know, what they tried to do and the acting. It just really fell short in certain areas for me, and I definitely was kind of bored in a couple places through the second act, even the beginning of the third. But
Yeah.
all in all, like I like that, you know, it they try to do like a rendition of the earlier one that we already reviewed. And like again, I appreciate Julia and Christopher and the little girl, even Ginger. She did a really good job as the daughter.
did
I just could have used more just information. Was my biggest hang up, I think.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the body horror of him gnawing at his arm.
Yeah, it turned into Saw there for a second.
Which makes sense because I think this guy did Saw. If I'm not mistaken.
The actor?
No. Leigh Whannell.
Oh. Huh.
Makes sense. Had to throw a little gore in there.
He did.
Holly.
He did.
Just a tad.
Jigsaw 2, Saw 2 and Saw 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely threw that in there, man.
But I mean, Blumhouse, sorry, it's gonna be a 5 for me.
Yeah. 5 for me as well. I liked getting into the point of view of Wolfman and the werewolf, seeing from their eyes, seeing how they have that night vision, seeing how they can hear so well. It was cool to be like, this is why it's so hard to get away from these creatures. I loved the acting. Everyone was top notch. The prosthetics, everything was very believable and gross. But there was just a lot of missed opportunity with storyline. It was such a good setup for whatever, wherever the imagination could have taken us, you could have done. And yeah, the writing just fell flat for me. But ultimately, it wasn't a bad movie to watch, to just be, entertained on a nice little evening and sip a little drink. So I wasn't mad at it. And I do like that they kind of departed from the damsel motif in the original.
That's true.
And the prying eyes. And it's like she's a boss bitch, She's working hard. They were like, a little redemption, trying that. So I'm like, I like that. But yeah, overall, just a little bored.
Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah, but appreciate it. Look, we love the arts of filmmaking.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, so that's it for us today. So go ahead and subscribe. Did you like the movie? What would you rate it? And make the drink.
The ingredients.
Fresh strawberry lemonade if you got it. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Burton and
Burton.
We out.
Out.